Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties. All under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
Like, whoa, you're coming on too strong. What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood. I guess we're just doing this now. With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson. You'd lose your turn. A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to. It was great talking to people who were not my husband or children.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Fresh Hell? Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Amy.
And this is Margaret. And friends, what are we doing this summer? I mean, it's happening, right?
Yes, and it's changing every day. Are you getting emails in your inbox daily? Like, there's a new plan, which is, I mean, overall a very good thing, but it means I'm filling out forms for the camp 3 times instead of once because there keep having to be new forms.
Well, my big thing right now is that our town pool, and I don't like to criticize people, but I'm going to say came up with a plan that to me was just frankly bonkers. I'm sure from their end, there's a reason. You know what I mean? Whenever I hear people be like, why are they doing it? Listen, I'm on the decision-making end of a lot of this stuff, and it's because we talked about it for 12 hours, and this is the best thing we can come up with, and then you present a plan, and everyone's like, this plan makes no sense. Why are they doing it this way? Which I find frustrating.
Yep.
That being said, the plan for our town pool this summer is a little bit nutty for me. And so I'm just hoping. So we had some debate about whether or not to sign up. It's like you can only go during these hours. And if you want to sit with people you know, you have to sign up on this sign up sheet that says you're a pod. Confusing and very high maintenance for like what is like, get your suits on, let's go to the pool.
Right.
But I just said, let's sign up because what I'm seeing is that every day we're getting emails that are like, forget that plan. Here's the new plan. And so that's what I'm hoping happens.
Right. That's what I'm saying is it's becoming both less and more complicated at the same time, figuring out what we're going to do because they're trying to put new rules on top of the old rules. And like you said, everybody's doing their best, but it is getting particularly complicated for us moms who have to sort of read the tea leaves.
Yes. And I will say extra complicated for those of us, including myself, who still have unvaccinated kids. So
yes,
I have a 12-year-old is my oldest. He's getting vaccinated this week. My younger kids are not eligible for the vaccine. And as I understand it, will not be eligible at all by the end of the summer and will remain unvaccinated through the summer. Now, as the number of adults get vaccinated, the overall transmission rate comes down. And therefore, I am kind of feeling a dome of protection over all of us, but I do not yet feel comfortable just being like, okay, it's a free for all.
That was a big thing that was left out of the big CDC announcement. They came out and like, you don't need to wear masks anymore. I just thought, was there nobody with a child under 12, like at the table? Because then somebody had to raise their hand and be like, kids who aren't vaccinated. And it was a couple days later, I feel like that they were like, oh yeah, kids who aren't vaccinated, guys, you were. You have to keep wearing the masks all the time. And so now we're in this sort of weird world where we don't have to wear masks anymore. Woohoo. But our children do. Like, I feel like that makes literal sense, but it doesn't make practical sense that we're expecting our 3-year-old to do something that we're not doing.
Yep.
It's tough.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but then if you go to the playground with your 3-year-old and then you have a mask on to model the right thing for your 3-year-old, then somebody's going to yell at you that you're being a bozo. I mean, it's a little complicated.
Yeah, let's first of all, guys, let's stop yelling at anybody for any reason.
Right.
It's very annoying. Here's a tip. we don't have to comment on what other people are doing all the time. You know, I feel like the masking issue has brought out a little bit of the like, we're all policing each other thing. I would like, as we relax that guideline, to relax that attitude of like, let's go back to leaving each other and our choices kind of alone. I get it. People's horrible choices that affect our health, we feel strongly about. But I think we can as we ease the guidelines, we can ease the policing of what other people are doing. And also, I think that a big thing is that the whole summer is changing for me, not only because of the changing regulations, because I've seen a summer with no plans, and I kind of liked parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like last summer, we had no plans at all. We had 0 summer plans. And I feel like in the before times, I always had a strong feeling that if I did not have my children's summer planned all day, every hour of the day, I would end up in some sort of torturous hell. And what I saw was like, oh no, the kids can actually entertain themselves a lot over the summer. And so this summer is also changed because I'm not going back to the old way.
We talked a lot about that in episode 205, which is called Wait, We're Not Ready. We talked about this. That's like maybe like a month ago. We talked about how there was white space in our calendar.
Yes.
That we were resisting even before like the latest, like, woo, I think we're kind of done if you got vaccinated. Before that whole guidance came out, sort of like we kind of liked having nothing to do and nothing to plan. And we were resisting planning too much for this summer. And so I was putting off decision making for the summer. My spouse was saying to me, like, do you think we should try to do a vacation? Do you think we should try? I'm like, it's too soon, because as soon as I start to look, then it's like, well, maybe it'll be fine, but maybe this, and maybe you'll get stuck and, you know, you fly somewhere and then you can't get home. Like, nah, I'm unwilling to consider this yet. And it felt very good to put it off. Now it feels sort of wait and hurry up for me. Like,
yeah,
I really should have figured this out 2 weeks ago. Oh my God. And it's the middle of May.
But do you feel I just feel an intense lack of stress around that, because if we have any plans, it's going to be a lot more plans than we had last year. And last year was kind of okay not having a lot of plans. That's what I'm finding.
I think that's what it is. Like, I think I'm organized and I'm on top of stuff and whatever, but that muscle is very deconditioned. And so as soon as I have, like, we had 2 places to be last Sunday, and it was immediately like overwhelmed, like tilt. I cannot do this. It's way too much.
Tilt.
And I would have done, that's an Goldilocks alert, isn't it? Tilt.
Back in my day, it is definitely what happens on a pinball machine. Even I don't know what happens to a pinball machine to make it tilt.
So you played pinball, kids, and you could try to like pick up the machine, I think, to like make the ball go in the right way, go the way you wanted it to go instead of not. But if you did that too much, the machine, the thing that said tilt would light up, and then like, wah, 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 you'd lose your turn.
Wow, that was quite a trip down pinball technology lane.
I never really played pinball. I just was like alive at a time when that was a thing that one would know. So
all I know is I will have the song Pinball Wizard stuck in my head. Sure plays me pinball. I will have that stuck in my head forever.
But it's a useful metaphor. Like, when there's too much going on, I feel like my tilt lights go on. Like, nope, can't do this.
Yeah. I mean, last summer, we kind of went all in. We got an above ground pool, which we discussed, and we set up a pickleball net in the driveway. So we were like, oh, it's this pool and tennis club, you know?
So you basically had an outdoor activity area. Yeah.
We invested like, I don't know, maybe $1,000, and we set ourselves up as like a little country club.
And you have woods. Like, your kids could like take a stick and go have an afternoon, right?
We have a little bit of land and woods around us. So yeah, it was kind of like 80s summer. Here's some bug juice. Go outside. And that actually worked out okay. And so, yeah, I feel a strong need not to go back to like, okay, then you'll go to Mandarin camp, and then you'll go to origami camp, and then you'll go to build a rocket camp. And I just, first of all, I don't want to spend the money. And second of all, I don't know. It just kind of feels like we don't need to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay to have, I always had 1 week built into the summer that I called mom camp. That was a total free-for-all. We go to the zoo one day, we go to the Met one day, we'd do an activity every single day that I ran. And then I realized, there's a whole other lane, which is not I take them to an activity all day and I'm the super fun camp counselor, which is screens go off at 9 a.m., figure out something to do until 4 in the afternoon.
It's the plot line of the entire series, Phineas and Ferb.
Yes.
Each episode of Phineas and Ferb is them on one day of summer vacation deciding they're going to like fly to the moon, right? Like each episode, the kids come up with something crazy they're going to do that day. And the big sister tries to, she's their nemesis.
Yeah.
And then they kind of do go to the moon usually, as I recall. Like it kind of works out usually, their plans.
Yeah, and it's not quite that. I'm not going to lie. That's not exactly what I found to happen. Like the kids are not like, well, if you say no screens, I guess we'll build a rocket ship made of cardboard for 7 hours. Like that's not what happens. It's still fighting. And my husband and I both work. And so one of us kind of has to be on point because even if they're building Legos, if we're in the house, there will come a time where they can't figure out what goes next. And I need you to come help. And they're not patient about it. I mean, having them around is a hassle. And I don't mean to say that like, it's just, Stranger Things where they're just riding their bikes around all day looking for adventure and we're sitting at home getting our work done in an orderly fashion. That's not what it looks like.
Well, the Stranger Things, I mean, it got exciting for reasons that were outside their moms, right? There were aliens in the Upside Down. You can't guarantee that for your kids.
I actually have not watched Stranger Things, but I know it involves a lot of kids riding around on bikes.
Right. There's a whole alien civilization that they stumble upon. You can't count on that happening in the backyard.
Oh, well, all right. You can't build that into your summer plans. Yeah, because the flip side of where we live is that it's wooded where I live, which is, but I mean, again, it's not like they're like, oh, let's explore the woods. I mean, they get it already with the woods. The flip side is we live on a really busy street. So my kids can't just like bike out of my house and go places. And so everything, it's a mixed bag. Although I will say the greatest thing that's ever happened to me is that my son and his friends have invented a game. And this game is I drop them at the middle school. And there's a wall and they have a competition who can sit on the wall for the longest. And it lasts like 5 hours. They sit there all day together and it's just...
Can you bring your phone or can they not bring their phones?
No phones. No. They're just talking to each other.
Oh, that, yeah. I'm all in favor of this. Just talking.
Oh, yeah. No, if they were sitting up there reading their phones, no. They just sit up there and they, I guess, talk to each other. I don't know. I mean, I would sign them up for this summer camp if it was a possibility. I drop you at the middle school.
And you sit on the wall all day?
You sit on the wall with your friends and then you call me when you're ready to come home.
That sounds wondrous.
That's a summer camp I could get behind. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know how long it will last.
I am team some summer plans, but I feel like everybody's in different places, right? So first of all, we live in New York City. So the idea of sending kids to summer camps and getting them out of the city and running around, that's something that has to be imposed upon them.
Yes. Totally different.
And also I have older kids. So unfortunately, my kids are old enough that they are kind of supposed to be doing something. And so I've resisted putting too much on them. But it's like, okay, you're not going to like lie around and sleep until noon and be cranky. So their summers do need a little bit of structure. And I both have resisted it. And I'm now stressed that I need to like kick them out and make them go scoop ice cream somewhere. There can't be nothing when they get older.
Yeah. And I mean, there can't be nothing when they're younger either. And one thing I will advocate for, again, with all ages and stages and with less planning is the beloved whiteboard plan. I will occasionally in the morning be like 9 to 11, free play, 11 o'clock. You can watch something until noon. Noon is lunch. 1 o'clock is reading time or, working on something, doing a project. The other thing is my kids have gone to a couple of camps they didn't love. Because they were, less expensive camps that were not as exciting. And I do hold that over them. I'm always like, basically they're Shawshank. I'm like, you can go back to blank camp. And if you don't want to stay out of my hair when you're at home.
I'll just sit on the wall, Mom. I'm good.
Go sit on the wall, whatever it is. Like, I am very, very clear about I need X amount of time. If I'm recording, you can't interrupt me. If I have a meeting, you don't interrupt me. Don't knock on my door and ask me about your Lego project, whatever it is. And I try to kind of make it clear that part of staying home is being responsible for entertaining yourself.
And I think that that's totally true for older kids as well. Like they need a little bit of, I'm waking you at 10 and we're going to clean the kitchen and then you're going to go, work out for a little while. And then when you come back, then maybe we'll go up to the pool for a little while. They need that too. Otherwise they will look at their phones all day.
Oh, they will.
And it doesn't make them less cranky.
You're not wrong. Amy, when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about our expectations for the summer for ourselves.
Okay. For some of us, tax season is one of the only times that we look at our finances fully. And once it's over, Well, that was terrible. And it is completely understandable not to want to think about it for another whole year. But using Monarch and being intentional with your finances in an ongoing way helps you see where your money is going and how you can put your refund to best use.
We are here to tell you, simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts and investments, net worth, and future planning together in one dashboard on your phone or laptop.
Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code FRESH.
As you know, my husband and I are preparing to send, 3 kids off to college, and I cannot tell you how helpful Monarch has been in showing us our full financial picture, helping us to track our spending and reach important savings milestones. Our weekly meeting, Amy, it's now run by Monarch.
Love it. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple.
Use code FRESH at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code FRESH.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today and let us surprise you.
Okay, we're back. One thing I've been thinking a lot about this summer is travel, because our family is spread out around the country. And usually one of the big things we do in the summer is go see people. And so I've been a little bit on the fence about traveling. As I mentioned, we'll be 3 out of 5 vaccinated over the summer. This involves plane travel, and it involves going to areas of the country where I believe that the vaccination rate is not as robust as it is where we live.
Okay.
And so this is another whole form of decision making. We've talked so much during the pandemic, and I think it's been really useful for me. And I've loved getting feedback on the Facebook page from our listeners. One of the things that's been so hard about this is, what are the rules? What are the rules for us? How are our family members behaving? Is that how we're behaving? Is there a disconnect between those things? You know, like figuring out, okay, so if I go somewhere and there are unvaccinated people in the groups that I'm going to visit, and I have 2 kids who are still vulnerable to COVID. And listen, lots and lots of kids have no issue with getting COVID, but some kids do have an issue when they get COVID.
Yeah, you're better off not having kids get COVID. Just take it from me. It's just better.
Yeah, I mean, Amy's had her own personal experience of it. And listen, I don't want my kids getting COVID. So another tricky part of this is going back into the role of like annoying COVID police officer when I'm with family members.
Right. Literally the last thing you want to do. Right. After all this time.
I'm not really up for it, but at the same time, it's not a negotiable for me. And I'm going to have some conversations as we travel and stuff. Hey, I don't want to be in a confined space with unvaccinated people. So
yeah, it's complicated.
You know, it's a drag. That part I'm tired of doing. Now, I think the trade-off of being in some new places and getting to visit places we haven't gotten to go to in 2 years is going to be worth it. But that's a part of it that's kind of a drag. It's like, I feel like I have to be the watcher at the wall for all this stuff and always be scanning for like, okay, but if we go there, listen, what are the vaccination rates? What are the, transmission rates here? And what are the chances that one of my kids ends up with COVID, which I don't want? I'm out over my skis. Like, I'm taking many more risks than I would have before.
Right. Because in general, those risks are less risky, right? Like a plane is definitively less risky than it was in January, but it's not zero.
Guys, don't take this from me. There's a million epidemiologists you should consult, but I am operating under the theory that doubly vaccinated people are not getting the virus and are not spreading the virus. And so with that in mind, off we go, I guess. And then I have to, but like, do I want everyone who walks into my sphere over the summer, wherever we're visiting, to be like, excuse me, do you have the vaccine? I don't know. It seems like a lot.
It seems like a lot. Like the problem with all of this as we head into summer is that we've been empowered to make our own decisions, right? Like as soon as there's a little bit of a pushback on like, wait a minute, no masks, but kids, yes, masks. Then we get fed the like, well, really? What it's about is about making your own decisions. And it's like, oh, thanks for nothing, right? I got an email from American Airlines this week that said, we can't wait to welcome you back. And I was like, whoa, you're coming on too strong, right? Like read the room. I'm not ready for you to be ready. American Airlines.
You're like, who are you welcoming back? I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying put.
Yeah. And I think that if we want people to accept that, we have to accept that other people are going to be like racing to get on the first cruise ship that is leaving, Port Canaveral in July.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I find myself a little bit more racing to get on the first cruise ship. Like this weekend, we had a family wedding that, believe me, when I got the save to date, I almost put it right in the recycling bin. A May wedding? There's no way that was going to happen. In my mind, when I got it in February, it seemed like, remember February, like no one's vaccinated. They're just maybe rolling out the vaccine. And the idea that, 3 months later, we would be at a wedding seemed preposterous. It was entirely outdoors. People were vaccinated. But I kind of just rolled with it. Like, I guess we're doing this. I think maybe I'm just a go with the flow person. When we were shut down, I was shut down. And now I'm kind of like, I guess we're just doing this now, But I do, in the back of my mind, keep thinking, I feel very safe because the evidence around the vaccines is phenomenal. Like, I feel as a double vaccinated, now a month out person, I'm like, okay, I'm safe, but I have to kind of remember that I have 2 kids who are not.
Yeah, I just think it's about like accepting that we're in different places. There are some people who are like, I'm going to keep my mask on because guess what? I'm not ready. And I think we have to be okay and make room for that. This last 15 months has been traumatic and people get to feel however they want. And I think sometimes the people who are angry at the people who haven't caught up yet, it's like because they're still wearing masks sort of triggers your own
nervousness
feelings about the last 15 months. Right. Like we're making each other nervous when our reactions aren't exactly the same. I mean, I do feel like I have that reaction when I see somebody say like, I'm not ready to do this. I think like, why not? We're all vaccinated. It's all good. But it's right. Because like, don't remind me that it was hard and it's not 100% done. And then the other person is like, don't remind me that, this is getting better because I'm not ready to feel reassured yet. This is going to take me some time. We just have to give each other a lot of grace while we're all at the town pool together.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, as you can tell, like the bottom line is like, we're confused again, guys. Like how exactly is this working? I mean,
yes,
they've lifted the mask mandate where I live and I went to pick up yesterday, which is outdoors and extraordinarily spread out. And I didn't put a mask on because I am vaccinated and I'm not spreading it and it's outdoors and I'm not close to anybody. But as I ran into people, they were all masked and I eventually just put my mask back on because I was like, it seems like people here are more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, as we keep saying, wearing a mask is not that huge a deal, but I think that's right. Like it's going to take a while to trickle back out, but it's starting to. And the one thing that I am looking forward to more over the summer is the feeling that okay, we're all going to start coming out of this. There's a beautiful New Yorker cover this week. Did you see it?
No.
We'll share it in the show notes. It's a dark room and then the door is cracked open. So picture like the beam of light that's coming through the door.
Yeah.
And in the beam of light is this tiny little family, like of 5 people about to walk out the door. And through the crack of the door, you see New York City like lit up so bright. And the scale of it is like New York City is huge and the family is tiny. And so it gave me chills looking at it. It's very evocative because it captures the thing that we keep talking about. This is a scary feeling. It's wondrous. It's like Oz, but there's something about that moving from black and white to color and walking through that huge door when you're just a little person is scary. It's ominous in a way.
It's not so scary for some and it's very scary for others. Let me tell you something else that's like, oh, wait a minute as things open up. Now that everybody's vaccinated and, New York City, they just announced like New York City's going to be open July 1st. Everybody's going to do exactly whatever they want to do. This whole idea that you can't go to work in your office tower is also sort of like, so we're free to do everything. That also means we're free to return to the office 5 days a week.
Ruh-roh, Scoobs. We're not ready for that.
And I already work at home, but my spouse is like, yeah, it's like everybody he works with is like, oh, see, I'm going to be at the Jersey Shore all summer, like with my spouse and our 3 kids, because that's the deal. We work from home all summer.
That's what I signed up for.
Right. This wonderful, awesome summer is also like, wait a minute, are we going back to air-conditioned offices? Because apparently there's not really a reason not to. Oh, shoot. Maybe we should have waited until September to say everybody's free to do what they were doing.
Well, first of all, let's wait till September anyway, guys. Like, let's be reasonable people who are bosses. Like, we're not coming back over this summer.
Apparently not.
Let's be real clear. But yes, this was a big topic of conversation at this gathering that I was at. And I was speaking to people from a range of different offices. So let's be clear that essential workers, people who work in healthcare, people who work in a myriad of different fields have already been back at work through the whole thing, you know, like.
Right. And thank you.
Yes. And thank you. This is often a conversation that is a little bit wrapped up in privilege. Like if you have actually been home for a year and a half from your job, you likely have a certain kind of job. Like a lot of people who have regular jobs, who work in the military, who work in a range of fields, first responders, medicine, firefighters, police officers,
Starbucks,
people who work at Starbucks, people who clean houses. Like you haven't been like, oh, it's going to be really hard to go back.
That's right.
Heard and understood. For people who do work in office environments that have been able to telecommute, this is a big deal. I was speaking to somebody who works at a very large media company, and they're going back only part-time. And I was pretty surprised. This is a company that in the before times would have been like everyone's in the office at 8:30 on Monday morning and they stay until 6:30 or 7 or 8 or 9 at night. And they do that every day of the week and they get 2 weeks off and 3 personal days a year. And that's it. And they're only going back part-time. And so I do think a lot of companies are changing it up, but especially, listen, it's been a mixed bag for moms, right? Like being at home with no childcare and trying to do a job has been hard, but being able to be more flexible in your time for moms and dads both. I mean, a lot of people I know are like, hey, I like dropping the kids at school and then getting my work done and then being done at night and being home and being able to go to the soccer game after school and not being on a train, where I live in a suburban community where it's a 45-minute train ride to Grand Central Station. And that's what people spend 2 hours of their days doing.
It made it easier in a way to be at work and not at work and available and not available, as opposed to now when you're always available for the Zoom or the email or whatever, because there are no boundaries. But it also means you're home raising your kids, right? You're home with them.
We have a lot more. We're getting phone calls during dinner. You know, that's happening a lot more. My husband worked at home before this. We both worked at home, so we didn't have such a major change as other people had. But I do think the boundaries of the day, a lot of times my husband after dinner, it's like, I got to go back to work or, you know, whatever. We're both just kind of working all the time randomly. And that's less than ideal. But it's still better than commuting. Let me tell you, I've done both, and I would rather have to look at my phone during dinner than sit on a train for 2 hours a day. I would rather.
I think that there's another factor coming into play as we head into summer. Can we talk about that when we get back?
Mystery factor when we return.
My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that. taking them to swim lessons. I mean, the pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
And now, summer last year versus summer this year.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast.
Summer last year.
There's no trips. There's no camp. So just put your mask on, go outside, and you can wave at the neighbor kids before coming inside and playing more Fortnite.
Summer this year.
Oh, you think town camp is lame? I'm sorry, but the heavens above have combined to bless me with the blissful opportunity to get all of you out of the house for 6 hours a day this summer. And guess what? You're going. Summer last year.
For Memorial Day this year, we're going to have a barbecue with the neighbors, meaning the neighbors will barbecue at their house and we'll barbecue at our house and we'll see each other on Zoom.
Summer this year.
For Memorial Day this year, we're having a barbecue that will be totally normal, except for the fact that everyone will be crying because we're having a barbecue that is totally normal. Summer last year.
Ugh, I hate wearing a mask when it's so hot outside. It's like my mouth is trapped in a clammy swamp.
Summer this year.
I forgot how much I hate breathing in gnats. Does anyone have a mask? Summer last year.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to just travel, to go places, to see my family and friends.
Summer this year.
The flight is 6 hours delayed. Why did I think I ever wanted to do this? Dear God, I think I packed everyone's suitcase but mine. And listen, when we get there, honey, you better tell your mother that I don't want her inviting Uncle Gene over because you know he didn't get the vaccine. And
this has been Summer last year versus Summer this year.
From the What Fresh Hell podcast.
Okay, so our friend Mary Laura Philpott wrote an article for the Washington Post called As the World Starts to Open Up, It's Tough to Let Go. It's an essay on parenting, so I'll put the link in the show notes. And she sort of underlined something I hadn't really thought about before. She talked about family weekend. Her son's going to college. My son is also going to college. And that family weekend in capital letters gets added to the calendar, as it just did for me. I just bought the hotel room for my son's family weekend. But she said, when you put family weekend on the calendar, that's what happens when every weekend isn't a family weekend anymore. We're going back to this time when we're not going to be together all the time. And, you know, it worked okay. But now that we've gotten used to this togetherness, there is some anxiety, I think, about separation.
Yeah.
One of my kids is going to sleepaway camp this summer, and he's going to be away from me for 3 weeks after he hasn't been away from me for, 3 days, for 1 day in the last 15 months. I don't have anxiety about that, but it's pretty different. We thought it's what we wanted, but now it's going to be hard.
For sure. I have to keep going back to the weekend because you have to excuse me. I spent time with humans for the first time in 1.5 years, so I have a lot of stories from it.
Oh, and I was definitely like, what was it like? Tell me everything when she came back.
Yeah, I have to say it was awesome. It was great talking to people who were not my husband or children. It was amazing having a range of conversations with a range of people. I can't say enough about it. It was, listen, the Spanx didn't miss him, as it turns out. High heels, half the women were like, oh, never again high heels. These things are horrible.
I thought we left those. I thought we agreed to that.
You take those bad boys off for 1.5 years. They don't feel good when you put them back on. It's like, oh, no, we're not doing this anymore. So this conversation that I'm citing now, a lot of my cousins had their grown kids with them back home because a lot of people came home,
Yeah.
And this is, I think, like the end of the spectrum version of this. oh my gosh, we were all together again. And it's not, you really don't want as a grown person to have your kids who are 20 and up all living under your roof. The model is grown and flown, like get them out. But it was a lot of melancholy around like, gosh, it was kind of nice to be together again as a family. But we kind of know that sunrise, sunset, like on the continuum of life, that's not really the model. Like having our 25-year-old kids all living with us. My brother had all 4 of his grown kids back again. They came home because, you know, the pandemic was so unsure and they would rather know where they are and they could work from home, whatever else. And yeah, they miss them. You know, they're gone. They're back out again and they miss them.
Is there any like, woo?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that there is a woohoo and there's also just a kind of overall understanding that like, this is the phase that we're in, like kids going off to start their own lives. And even with little ones, my kids are back in school now, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. It's great. I love it. You know, I love having the time back, but it was a fun adventure, kind of like we're all in this together, the 5 of us in this house. There was something very special about it. I'm glad we had it, but I'm glad it's over.
The Atlantic magazine had an article just this week. I'll put the link in the show notes about how families start to have, family ease. You had some term it used for the jargon that your immediate family uses. You have special words for things. And like maybe your toddler calls it Pischetti and then everybody always calls it Pischetti forever. Like everybody has stuff like that.
Ours is dump truck and regally truck. Those are the 2 kinds of trucks that exist. You can either see a dump truck or a regally truck.
So this article is all about that. And like, oh my God, I howled thinking about the time that the 5 of us have spent talking about our dog, talking in her voice, you know, and like the rules of her. She has a form of mathematics. Like we have had time to like sit around and develop this deep weirdo stuff about our dog. And my oldest has a girlfriend. She came over for dinner and we started in with like the nonsense and just like the look on her face, like, get me out of here.
She was like, you people need to separate. Well, one of my nieces said to me, and it summed up, I believe, what we're talking about perfectly. She's like, it's been fun to be at home, but I really think I need to make some friends who are not my parents. And I was like, yes, that's it.
Yep.
It's been fun, but somehow not totally appropriate. I think we're ready.
We have to build our own rules. Like my daughter is also going to a camp this summer and they sent an email just yesterday that was full of like, guess what? Like if the kids can be vaccinated, now the 12 to 15-year-olds can be vaccinated, everything will be different. We don't have to do this and we can have campfire and like, you know, they're delighted. And of course we're delighted. And then they say, but of course beforehand, the 2 weeks before camp, she's supposed to like wear a mask and not see anybody outside our family. And I'm like, no, like, wait a minute.
Wait, what?
You don't have to do that part anymore either. Right. And I just thought like, okay, so that was probably always a little excessive. It's definitely excessive now. If you're saying once she gets to camp, everything will be different. I just mean like we earned our way in. We're going to have to earn our way out, and figuring out what makes sense and what's necessary and what isn't is sort of an individual calculus still, again, which sucks, but it's true.
I agree, but I have some advice on this topic, which is that I have a range of jobs, do the podcast, do a couple of other things. And one of my jobs happens in a institutional setting. And one of the things about working in an institutional setting, meaning a large bureaucratic organization run by the government, I'm not trying to be mysterious, I'm not a spy, is that there are a vast number of rules that are constantly changing, make no sense. Like if you encounter person A, they're like, you have to dump your bag out before you're allowed to come in. But if you on a Tuesday encounter person B at the front desk, they're like, just go ahead in. And so if I do some trainings for people who are going to come in and I'm like, I would just drop from your mindset. Why? That question is not super useful in this setting. Like, why do I have to dump my bag out? Yesterday, I didn't have to. It's going to irritate the person at the front desk, and it's not going to ever get a satisfying answer. It is because this is a large bureaucratic setting where whoever you happen to encounter will enforce different rules every single time. It can be crazy making. I have an expression, which is marshmallow Meg, where I'm just like, this is the version of me that can get like run over by a tractor and I just bounce back into shape. And that's the mindset that I have to bring to this setting. Otherwise, I will be driven crazy by the fact that like on Tuesdays, the rules are this. On Thursdays, the rules are this. Do they comport to some larger set of rules? Maybe or not. I don't really know. But I believe that is the mindset one has to bring to some degree to the pandemic rules. That like, if you keep raising your hand and say like, but wait, I can't get the virus or shed the virus. So why would I have to quarantine before coming to your place? You're kind of going to go insane. You just have to, I think, in this time of transition, be like, what are the rules? Okay, got it. Check. We can deal with that. You know, we're trying to make rules that are changing quickly, that don't really work for everybody, that don't technically make a lot of sense when implemented in Y or Z variable situation, that the way to handle is just like, huh? Okay, great. Got it.
Right.
Marshmallow.
Right.
Lay down, the bulldozer will hit you, and then you will pop back into shape. But spending a lot of time with like, I am going to write a letter clarifying because this rule shouldn't be, I'm just going to pretty much know what my personal sphere of safety is. And then I'm going to comport myself as other people's rules dictate and then kind of keep moving through it. To me, that's the best way to confront this constantly changing insanity.
You often say we need to operate from a place of maximum generosity. And I think that's true, whether it's our kids' science fair or the summer camp or the ice cream shop or, you know, like, well, wait a minute, this part doesn't make sense. They're doing their best. The rules are changing every week. They're writing new policies based on the rules. And maybe somebody forgot to change page 2 and they're changing page 7. And everybody's doing their best. And everybody's trying to keep the safest.
Yeah. And also, let's be frank. There are people who have to work that maybe aren't you. And so if there is a restaurant or somewhere where you want to go where there are service workers involved in that place, do what makes them feel comfortable, friends. You don't need an ice cream cone. They have to go to work there. If they're asking you to keep a mask on until you walk outside with your ice cream cone, please operate from your place of maximum generosity there. You may know better and you may have read the study that says you can't give it to them and therefore you don't need to wear your mask. But if it makes a person who has to be in that place and it is your choice to be in that place, I would really put in your path that like put a mask on and make those people feel comfortable. It's not that much to ask.
Yeah. It's really not your business, is it? Why somebody's in a different place than you are in terms of comfort and, you know, to accommodate somebody else's comfort level on the conservative side. I mean, not like take off your mask because I think it's weird. I mean, can you keep your mask on while you're in the store? It's just not that much to ask.
There's a lot of nonsense going on. I just saw, I think it was the New York Times had a piece. It was like, this person will never take off their mask, even though they're double vaccinated and they've had COVID twice and they blah, blah. And I'm like, this is the kind of article that drives people crazy because it just fuels this feeling. Everybody just relax. We're trying to figure it out. We're coming out of it, it looks like. The news is all good, but you don't have to be like, well, what if we never take off masks? That's not going to happen. I don't care what the New York Times writes about one person who is an outlier. Like,
right.
We are coming out of it, but let other people make their choices. This is other people's spheres. When I look around a place and everyone has a mask on, I put my mask back on. I don't stop and say,
yes,
you know, I'm actually double vaccinated and the CDC says I can't shed. So therefore I just put my mask on. Well, it makes other people comfortable.
You don't know whose 5-year-old has asthma or whatever, and it's not your business. Right.
And this is the thing. Summer's going to be much more fun than last summer. It's going to be better.
Yeah, you're right. It's already going to be awesome.
It's already going to be awesome.
It's already been awesome.
We're going to like not have the creeping fear that like anywhere we go, we could get the virus. It's still around. It's going to be with us for a while. Our kids, we need to be careful with them. Take some time out, do a little reading and make a plan for yourself this summer. My plan might look like this. I don't feel comfortable being in closed spaces with unvaccinated people, which means I'm going to have some uncomfortable conversations. You know, let's not have indoor dinners with people who I know are not vaccinated where we're going to be unmasked. I'm going to pass on that. Outdoors, I'm going to let the kids play maybe without masks this summer. I may, you know, but I think we shouldn't skip the step of sitting down and really thinking to ourselves, what do I feel comfortable with? Make your own rules. Some people need more time than others. Taking in some deep breaths and saying, this is what I'm comfortable with. And then once you know what your comfort sphere looks like, then you enforce it. And if other people push back, they're the problem.
It's going to be a lot better than last summer. I'm pretty excited.
And enjoy your summer. It's going to be real fun. I saw a funny meme. I'll try to find it. I don't care about hot girl summer. I want to have a golden girl summer, which means me and my friends wear muumuus and talk and laugh and eat cheesecake together.
Yeah. Everybody in the pool. That's right.
Golden girl summer in the pool. And then we only break for cheesecake. I like it. We made it this far.
Guys, have you subscribed to Toddler Purgatory yet or followed it wherever you listen to podcasts? Because that really helps a new podcast grow. And it's out now. Like, you can listen to multiple episodes. We're so excited about it.
So excited. And while you're there, go ahead and give it a rating and a review and make it a good one, would you? Because that'll also help people find the podcast. And with that, friends, keep listening all summer. We'll be here all summer. We'll be delivering episodes all the summer long.
Poolside.
So you can listen to us poolside with your earbuds in. And we hope you have a great start to summer. We think you're going to.
It's going to be awesome.
Bye, friends.
Talk to you next week.